Peace. This is Watch Wise Words Media back at y'all for another round. And Teofimo Lopez, I think, is making another huge mistake. I like Teofimo Lopez, so I hope that I'm wrong. But I see another big mistake repeating itself. And that is back when Teofimo Lopez was going to fight George Kambosos, his focus was not on George Kambosos. His primary concern seemed to be Devin Haney, Tank Davis, and he was not focused on George Kambosos. Like, he was just dismissing the Kambosos fight. When Kambosos was telling Teo, you look heavy, you're going to be out of shape, in trouble, and I'm going to wear you out. And we seen that play out. And what I don't like right now that Teofimo Lopez is doing, it seems like he's making the same mistake. Going into this fight in February against a very live opponent in Jermaine Ortiz. Teofimo Lopez is now talking about fighting Terrence Crawford. And dude, Teo, learn from your mistakes, my brother. That's what, in life, you either make mistakes or you learn lessons. A lesson is something that can be perceived as a mistake, but as long as you learn from it, it wasn't a mistake. It was a part of your growing process. You learn from it, you correct it, and you don't do it again. And that way you grow, you mature from it, and it gives you wisdom. It gives you the ability to discern better moving forward. But a mistake is when the same things play out and you're going about it the same exact way and you end up falling a victim once again. So that's my concern going into this fight, because he's got a very live dog in Jermaine Ortiz. And for those of us that remember well, when Jermaine Ortiz fought Lomachenko, he gave Lomachenko a run. You know, he was a little known fighter, but he came into that fight and gave Lomachenko some problems. He pumped his jab very well, moved around the ring well. He gave Lomachenko trouble. And I can see if Teofimo Lopez doesn't stay focused, I always say this, one of the most dangerous fighters in all of the sport is a focused Teofimo Lopez. But he has to be focused. When he's not focused, he is one of the most susceptible to defeat in the entire sport. But when he gives his all and he's laser focused on his opponent, he is one of the most dangerous fighters in the game today. You saw that. And I love how, you have some of these pages out here that love to I would like to see how this fighter pairs up against that fighter, because we saw how this fighter did, right? They triangulate things, but they never talk about how Teofimo Lopez dominated Lomachenko, but Devin Haney struggled with Lomachenko. Devin Haney, as I said before, I believe he won by one round. It was a 7-5, or it could have been 6-6. It could have been a draw or a 7-5. If anybody had it a draw, I'm not arguing with you, because it was a highly competitive fight. That was the definition of a chess match. But I saw Haney winning one extra round. I gave it 7-5 Haney. Teofimo Lopez, when he fought Lomachenko, he got maybe 3 rounds. It was like 8-4, 9-3. So he completely dominated Lomachenko. So I find it very interesting that, when you have that type of Teofimo Lopez that's focused, or the Teofimo Lopez that moved up in weight and took on Josh Taylor and took his titles in his first fight at 140, that was probably like his third fight at 140, but it was his first championship bout at 140. When you have that type of Teofimo Lopez in the ring, he's dangerous and he could beat almost anybody. I still think I give it to Haney over him, but I think he can It's a 50-50 fight against Tank. I think I still have Shakur over Tio, but it's not like Tio's gonna get washed up and dominated by Devin or washed up and dominated by Shakur. These are like almost 50-50 fights. You could almost call them 50-50, but I give the edge to both Dev and Shakur. But when you put Tio against Tank, I think a focused Teofimo Lopez beats Tank Davis. I said it here today on this channel, alive, ready, laser focused. Teofimo Lopez can beat Tank Davis. He can beat Ryan Garcia. He can beat Rolly Romero. He can beat just about anybody at 140 or 135 or whatever the case may be. But what I don't like that he's doing is he's not focusing on Jermaine Ortiz. He's talking about the Haneys, or he's talking about Terrence Crawford, which is the latest thing that's been coming up, that he wants to fight Terrence Crawford. Like, Tio, don't make this mistake again. Don't start looking for other fights and already lining yourself up for other fights when you got a live dog right in front of you in Jermaine Ortiz. Don't do that, you know? Like, you got a very live dog in front of you that can really alter your plans if you don't come in there laser focused. So I just want Teofimo Lopez to correct this, cut out the side talks about Haney and all, and Crawford, and just stay focused, man. Stay focused, because Teofimo, when focused, can be one of the best fighters in the sport today, aka Gordo. I'm Wise for Wise Words Media. Peace.